Hello guys. If you've ever felt nervous while speaking English, if your mind goes blank in the middle of a sentence, or if you understand English but can't respond quickly, stay here with me for the next few minutes. Because today, we're not just practicing English, we're fixing the fear behind it. Let me ask you something honestly. How many times have you known the answer in your head, but your mouth just didn't cooperate? Yeah, exactly. That's not a vocabulary problem. That's a confidence problem. And confidence is built through repetition, not pressure. So here's what we're going to do. I want you to imagine I'm sitting right in front of you. No classroom, no judgment, no complicated grammar lessons. Just real conversation. The kind of English people actually use in daily life in the United States. And today, you're not going to stay silent. You're going to respond. Out loud. Even if it feels a little uncomfortable at first. That's how growth starts. Now take a slow breath. Good. Let's begin with something simple but powerful. Imagine someone looks at you and says, "Hey, how's everything going?" Instead of freezing, you calmly say, "Honestly, it's going pretty well. I've just been trying to stay productive." That sounds natural. That sounds confident. That sounds real. Now let's build from there. Think about your morning. You woke up. Maybe you didn't feel super motivated. Maybe you felt a little tired. But you still got up. You could say, "I didn't feel like getting out of bed, but I knew I had responsibilities." That's a strong, real sentence. Now imagine you're talking to a coworker or a friend. They ask, "What have you been working on lately?" You don't panic. You say, "I've been focusing on improving myself and building better habits." Notice the rhythm. You're not using advanced words. You're using clear thoughts. That's fluency. Fluency is clarity under pressure. Now let's create a real-life situation. You're at a coffee shop. The cashier asks, "What can I get started for you?" Instead of saying one word and stopping, you respond smoothly. "I'll have a medium coffee, and could you make it a little less sweet?" That's how real Americans speak. Polite, clear, complete. Now imagine someone disagrees with you during a discussion. Instead of feeling nervous, you say, "I understand your point, but I see it a little differently." That sentence shows maturity. Confidence isn't loud, it's steady. Let's go deeper. Picture yourself in a meeting. Someone asks you for your opinion. For a second, your heart beats faster. But instead of shutting down, you say, "I think we should consider a simpler approach because it might save time." That's leadership language. And you are capable of that. Now here's something important. You don't need perfect grammar to sound confident. You need structure. You need calm energy. You need repetition. Right now, as you're listening to this, your brain is adjusting. It's absorbing patterns. It's recognizing sentence flow. That's why speaking out loud is critical. So I want you to repeat this after me. I am not afraid to express myself. Again. I am learning to speak with confidence. Good. Now imagine you're talking to someone new. They say, "So tell me a little about yourself." Instead of giving a short, nervous answer, you say, "I'm someone who's constantly trying to grow and improve, especially in communication skills." That sounds strong. That sounds intentional. Now let's create another moment. You're on the phone. The connection isn't clear. Instead of staying confused, you say, "The connection is a bit unclear. Could you repeat that last part?" You handled it. You didn't hide. That's progress. See what's happening here? You're not memorizing random sentences. You're preparing for real life. Every sentence you practice becomes a tool. And the more tools you have, the more confident you feel. Confidence reduces hesitation. Less hesitation means smoother speech. Smoother speech feels like fluency. And fluency builds opportunities. So right now, if you've ever felt shy, if you've ever avoided speaking, if you've ever doubted yourself, understand this. You are not behind. You are building. One sentence at a time. One situation at a time. And we're just getting started. And we're just getting started. Because here's the truth most people won't tell you. Your English is probably better than you think. The real problem is that you don't trust yourself when it's time to speak. So let's build that trust right now. Imagine you're in a group conversation and everyone is talking confidently. For a moment, you feel that old hesitation again. Your brain says, "What if I say something wrong?" But this time, you don't step back. You lean slightly forward and say, "Can I add something to that?" That one sentence changes your position in the room. People look at you. They're listening. You continue calmly. I think the main issue isn't the difficulty of the task, it's the way we're approaching it. That doesn't sound like a beginner. That sounds like someone who believes in their own voice. Now imagine you're explaining your opinion to a friend. Instead of short answers, you expand your thoughts. You say, "I used to feel really nervous speaking English, but I realized that the fear was bigger than the actual problem." That's reflection. That's clarity. That's growth. And when you speak like that, people respect you. Let's step into another real-life moment. You're networking or meeting someone new. They ask, "So what are your goals this year?" Instead of saying something vague, you respond, "My main goal is to improve my communication skills so I can feel more confident in professional environments." That answer shows awareness. It shows direction. Confidence isn't about sounding fancy. It's about sounding intentional. Now imagine a challenge. You're misunderstood in a conversation. Instead of getting frustrated, you calmly say, "I think I might not have explained it clearly. Let me rephrase it." That's emotional control. That's communication skill. Fluent people don't avoid problems. They manage them with words. And that's exactly what you're training yourself to do right now. Let's slow this down for a second. Think about how you felt months ago when someone suddenly spoke English to you. Maybe your heart raced. Maybe your mind went blank. Now compare that to today. You're forming longer responses. You're staying in the moment longer. You're understanding natural flow. That's not luck. That's practice. Now picture this. You're traveling. You need to ask for directions. You walk up confidently and say, "Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the nearest train station?" Clear, polite, direct. If you don't understand the answer, you follow up with, "Sorry, could you say that one more time a little slower?" You stay calm. That calmness is power. Now imagine being in an interview. The interviewer asks, "Why should we choose you for this position?" Instead of freezing, you respond steadily. "I believe I'm a strong candidate because I'm adaptable, I learn quickly, and I'm committed to continuous improvement." That is structured speech. That is confidence in action. And it doesn't happen randomly. It happens because you practiced speaking full thoughts, not just isolated words. Here's something important to remember. Fluency isn't about speaking non-stop. It's about speaking clearly when it matters. It's about handling silence without panic. It's about correcting yourself without embarrassment. It's about continuing even after small mistakes. Every time you repeat these kinds of sentences out loud, you're teaching your brain that English is safe. You're teaching your voice to stay steady. You're teaching your fear to shrink. And slowly, something powerful happens. You stop asking, "What if I fail?" And you start thinking, "Let me try." That shift changes everything. Because trying leads to speaking. Speaking leads to improvement. Improvement leads to confidence. And confidence opens doors. So right now, wherever you are, I want you to sit up a little straighter. Take a breath. And say this clearly. I am capable of speaking confidently. Again. I am capable of expressing my thoughts clearly. Feel the difference in your energy when you say that. You are not just watching a video. You are training your mindset. You are upgrading your communication skills. You are becoming someone who doesn't hide in conversations. And the more you show up like this, the more natural it becomes. This is how transformation looks. Not dramatic, not instant, but steady, intentional, real. And we're going even deeper from here. And we're going even deeper from here. Because now I want you to see something clearly. English is not just a subject. It's not just grammar rules. It's not just vocabulary lists. It's a tool. A tool that helps you connect. A tool that helps you express ideas. A tool that helps you move forward in life. And tools become powerful when you actually use them. So let's imagine a slightly uncomfortable situation. You're in a conversation, and someone speaks very fast. You catch some words, but not everything. Old version of you. You smile nervously. You nod. You stay quiet. New version of you. You say calmly, "I'm sorry, I'm still working on my English. Could you say that a little more slowly?" That sentence changes everything. It shows honesty. It shows courage. It shows growth. Most people will respect that. Now imagine you're sharing your opinion in a discussion. Instead of saying something very short like, "I agree," you expand it. You say, "I agree with you because that approach seems more practical and easier to manage." Now you sound thoughtful. Now you sound involved. That's the difference between passive English and active English. Active English is when you participate. When you expand. When you explain. Let's picture another moment. You're telling someone about a challenge you faced. Instead of saying, "It was hard," you say, "It was challenging at first, but I learned a lot from the experience." That's mature language. That's confident language. And you are fully capable of speaking like that. Right now, your biggest obstacle isn't grammar. It's hesitation. Hesitation is that tiny pause where fear tries to take control. But the more you practice full sentences, the shorter that hesitation becomes. Now imagine you're giving advice to someone. They say, "I feel nervous speaking English." You respond, "It's completely normal to feel that way, but the only way to improve is to keep practicing consistently." Listen to that sentence. That sounds like someone who understands growth. That sounds like someone who has experience. And that someone can be you. Let's shift to something professional again. You're asked to explain your strengths. Instead of listing one-word answers, you say, "One of my strengths is staying calm under pressure, which helps me make better decisions." That's structured. That's impressive. That's fluent thinking. Fluent thinking leads to fluent speaking. Now I want you to notice something. As this script continues, you're understanding everything without translating word by word. That's progress. Your brain is adapting to patterns. It's recognizing rhythm. It's becoming comfortable. Comfort reduces fear. And when fear reduces, expression increases. Let's go into a deeper, personal level. Imagine someone asks you, "What motivates you?" Instead of giving a short answer, you say, "I'm motivated by progress. When I see myself improving, even a little, it pushes me to keep going. That's powerful. That's not advanced vocabulary. That's clear thinking. Clear thinking creates strong communication. Now imagine you make a small grammar mistake while speaking. Instead of stopping completely, you say, "Let me correct that," and continue your sentence smoothly. People don't remember small mistakes. They remember confidence. Confidence leaves an impression. Now let's bring this back to you. Right now, you are practicing something many people avoid. You are stepping into discomfort. You are choosing improvement. That alone already separates you from the crowd. And here's the beautiful part. The more you practice like this, the less you will think about speaking English. You will just think about expressing your ideas. English will become the vehicle, not the obstacle. One day, you'll be in the middle of a conversation, and suddenly you'll realize something surprising. You're not scared anymore. You're not overthinking anymore. You're just talking. That moment will feel simple, but it will represent months of quiet effort. Effort like this. Effort where you stayed, you listened, you repeated, you tried again. That's how real confidence is built. Not loudly, but consistently. And the more you build it, the more doors open in front of you. Now listen carefully, because this is important. Right now, you have two choices. You can close this video, go back to scrolling, and tell yourself, "I'll practice tomorrow." Or, you can decide that today is different. Today is the day you stop being just a watcher. And you start becoming a speaker. Because let me tell you something honestly, nobody becomes fluent by just watching one video. Fluency is built by repetition, by exposure, by hearing real sentences again and again until they feel natural. And that is exactly what we are building here. Not just videos. A habit. A mindset. A daily push toward confidence. Imagine this. 6 months from now, someone asks you something in English. And instead of freezing, instead of translating in your head, instead of avoiding eye contact, you respond naturally, smoothly, with clarity. That version of you is not far away. But it depends on what you do next. If you really want to improve your spoken English for the USA, UK, Canada audience. If you want to sound natural, confident, and expressive. If you want powerful sentences that people actually use in real life. Then don't leave this journey halfway. Subscribe. Because every single video here is designed step by step, to make you think in English, to make you speak in English, and to make you feel comfortable in English. And when you subscribe, you're not just supporting a channel. You're making a commitment to yourself. A commitment that says, "I'm serious about my growth." Also, turn on the notification bell. Because consistency is everything. One lesson won't change your life. But consistent lessons will. And here's something even more powerful. Don't just watch. Pause the video. Repeat the sentences. Speak out loud. Even if you're alone. Even if you feel awkward. Because that awkward phase. That's the bridge between beginner and confident speaker. And every confident English speaker you see today once felt exactly like you. The only difference? They didn't stop. So don't stop. Stay with me. Practice with me. Grow with me. And very soon, you won't just understand English. You will own it. I'll see you in the next class.